little repetition. Gen.G going to be starting off on defense. Sentinels going to be on attack. Of course, a little bit of swap-a-roo when it comes to the agent selection. On the Gen.G side, we are going sageless, where there is going to be a sage for Sentinels. So very interesting to see how they adapt.
This has become part of that theoretical play coming out on Sage. We've seen it from a few teams going sageless, like T1 and also like Code 7, who have done that in the past as well, favoring that dual initiator, which you get here as well with the likes of Omen and Phoenix. We've got what looks to be a B take coming out. They did lose a player early on. That's the Breach falling back towards B connector. Dual shock dart. Love to see it coming right in onto lane. Love the arrow positioning coming out from the Sova. Michael moving into a better position over towards lane. Quinn's going to take down the first target. That's Sinatra falling, who again has swapped off of the Phoenix and over towards the Sova. But they're playing this one so incredibly slow. Dapper's got control of mid, starts to take down the door. Zombs trying to make it out by using that dark cover towards spawn as they try to work their way into this site. We'll see if they can actually get access.
Yeah, Nguyen back of sight there. Looking for an opportunity. The push is in. That's going to be the shock dart. Sorry, the spy cam that spots them out. It's Mikael back of sight, and they'll find two. A great round for Gen.G to start us off. And like I said in the pre-show, they need every round they can get, because once the attacker side hops on over, they will have the opportunity to really put a dent into some of these early rounds.
Suede totally won that round for Suede. I don't know if you saw it. Suede the best player in every pistol round that we've seen thus far. It's actually incredible how many kills and deaths Suede gets every single pistol round. It is a bug. Riot is aware of it. It's the name of a developer who currently works for Riot. Something in the most recent patch causes it to revert back to a testing state in the pistol round, so everyone has Phantoms and everyone's named Suede. As you can see here, it is fixed moving into this next round. Shazam is going to send a tremor down towards short in case they were pushing up on Catwalk. Camera going to be taken care of there as they gather up control of mid. The Cypher was scratched up pretty heavily, so a Sage heal coming out from him. We're going to see Guimon right around the corner. Here's those footsteps. The Molly's going to go down, as is the hot hand. So rather than pacing it and running them both separately, they throw them on top of one another and use both simultaneously. Guimon will make first contact as they start to come through. Guimon only gets one in the exchange, but they're going to be falling off that play, knowing that there's likely players rotating over to support the A site.
Of course, it is pistols for them, so don't really expect too many heroic plays, but sometimes it's the triple peak or the quadruple peak where they all peak together and just try to find some opportunities to get some trades, and that'll be the name of the game for them, as the defense are likely stocked up on SMGs, ready to frag out and playing a lot more respectfully to their opposition, despite the economic advantage that they have. Playing very far back, letting the opposition push in, and then trying to pick them off one at a time. Zombs going to be leading that charge through Pizza, but backs away after he grabbed the quick slice. It's going to be the A site where they want to push in. Shazam with one. Paranoia from Effie's on the Omen, and still looking to try to spray him down. He's going to have a trouble there to try to take out Shazam, as he'll find two picks on the site already. Now here comes the retake for Gen.G.
Door is going to go down as well. There's the dart going up. Gives away the position of one that's close. The spray coming through from Nguyen. It's actually right on the money, but not taking out his target. So it's a 2-on-4. Michael spamming away at that pesky door. Shock dart about to come through to bounce on towards the site. Still nothing working for them yet as they continue this push further and further forwards. You've got the Ares here, which is not exactly the ideal weapon for these long-range exchange, but it seems to be working out so far. So good. They make the retake come together in the end. A 2-on-4 on the A site. It was a little bit clumsy and awkward, but it will be Gen.G winning the second round.
Yeah, Nguyen takes a page out of Sinatra's book, grabs himself an LMG, and makes it sing, taking out two on the site there. A great start for Gen.G, and that's the start that they definitely want. Last time these two teams met, it was Sentinels from the pistol that won 7 straight, and we're seeing a different pulse here from Gen.G, playing a little bit more comfortably in their own skin. But on the opposite side, it's the Sentinels that have their machinery ready to get locked and loaded. Phantoms across the board for them. And on the opposite side, we're seeing Nguyen. He's got an Odin, and he's set up towards B. You already know it's about to go down.
We've seen this time and time again from Sovas on the map. The question is, he had an Ares in the last round. If the Odin goes burr, what does the Ares say? Is it just like a burr? It's not quite as
not
rough
as
and tough.
impactful. Not as impactful. No, it's like every you watch SpongeBob. Is that before your time? Is that's when you watch? There's this episode in SpongeBob where he tries to join a tough club, I think, and he's not let in, and he has to go through all these different appearances to make his way in. That's kind of how the Ares is. Ares is SpongeBob, and Odin is the Tough Boys Club. But hasn't worked out well for Nguyen to start. He tried to spray through. In fact, I think they even end up with the ult orb there. And now, still 5 strong here for both teams. They're looking towards A, and we saw specifically at the T1 showdown, TSM take it to A it was T1 take it to A every single time on attack, and TSM could just not do anything about it. So far, it's been quite consistent for Sentinels to poke and prod their way through the catwalk, but on the opposite side is GMD waiting for them to push in, but it's the hot hands that have stopped their push.
Breach flash kind of lead the way there. Nice flash coming in, does blind the target who was back behind the smoke, but it's a nice pounce from Gimon pushing through. They continue to wait their way towards this site as well, using that dark cover as a bit of a one-way, finding a gap, but it doesn't matter because the site's already been lost. So now there's going to be a retake. The spike being planted in the backside of site, back behind the double stack, with just a few seconds left on the round. It's all on the Omen and the Phoenix. Double dart there on Gimon. He's going to try and survive as best he can, but those walls on the B site, paper thin. Effie's now staring down the barrel of a 1v3, realizing that the gun in his hand is worth more than his own life. So going to be backpedaling out and trying to save it to bring it into the next round.
Yeah, I mean, you might even want to look for exits, but because at the end of the day, you know, the defense, they're not going to have a great economy moving into this next one anyways. And so, well, I mean, Effie's obviously wants to save. He's down to 600 credits, but for the Sentinels, the more expensive that you can make it, the more members that you can take out from the attacker side means the less amount of weapons that they'll be able to buy in the next round. You see that they're on the hunt, trying to find where Effie's is located, but he's taking a quick swig from the wine cellar. Hopefully not too much, because he wants to be able to focus on the round at hand, round number 4 for them, as they need to figure out their economy situation. Not really going to be the best for the defender side, but they'll make ends meet where they can.
So, how do they surround this Vandal? A couple of sheriffs and a marshal. So, we'll see how that works. A win on the classic, Gimon on the marshal, a sheriff for player 1, and for Michael, who's playing on the sapphiRe. You've already seen some of those one-way traps set up over on the B site. They've become ubiquitous with Ascent defense due to those tall arches on both the A and B site for access into the site. You can throw a couple on the A site, a couple on the B site as well. Here comes the push in toward that A site. The hot hand doesn't go out deep enough. The breach charge going to force Michael back just a bit. Flashpoint as well to push him away from the site. Tripwires coming down from Dapper low on the ground as well. Not going to be anticipating those. They've got the dark cover on the door that gave them access to the site. So it will be a spike plant and a 5-on-5 retake.
Ooh. Marshall not going to be good. GMD, Natra just trying to hold up here down in hell. Those walls paper thin as well, and you saw a couple of shots trying to ring through. He will actually survive most of it. Dapper going to find one early. Shock darts are ready, or sorry, that's the recon bolt, and it'll spot too as the spray down is good. Sinatra and Shazam on cleanup duty, but it's GMD, the last janitor, clocking for the night, and he'll find a whole world of hurt from the Sentinels. A great round from the attack.
That's kind of what you expect to see, given the purchase that came in from Gen.G. We'll see how they adjust moving into this round. They bought down to save just enough cash for the full buy-in here. And it looks like they want to get aggressive in mid. They're probably going to use the run it back from Gimon to try and get access into mid. He's got one right beside him. That's the sapphiRe and Michael, so they're going to try and go for some heavy mid play potentially and try to backstab through mid connector. As the round gets started, we'll see if that's what they decide to do. They're currently right around the corner on the other side of the wall. Again, you've got Nguyen over on the B site, using what most Sovas playing B site defense do. The Odin, alongside the recon dart to give awareness of positions on the other side of the wall, and then just commence the spray down with that Odin. Paper thin walls make it oh so easy. The dark cover in mid, Zalms is right on the other side of that one. Here comes the Owl drone to potentially start this push forward. Again, we saw them early on. It looked like they were going to be posturing for a mid push with that ult, but they still haven't decided to do it.
Still even managed to get that tracking dart as well into Zoms. Still going to try to put a dart cover, and he puts it quite far back as well. The flash is good from Shazam, but it's still GMD that'll come out on top. Neural Depth as well, as they're still looking for more. It's flash across flash, but Shazam will take out the dry peak, and it's just pandemonium here in the middle as the Kench bench gets unlocked. And it's a multitude of kills here for the Sentinels. They'll push now towards the B site.
PL1 now coming back towards Market. Cyber Cage in his path. We'll have to wait for that one to dissipate. As it falls, there's a Sage right to the left outside the door. Effys is realizing, like, dude, there's no way I'm going for this. So he's going to chill back towards this A site. Wanted to go for orb control if it was available, but as the spike gets planted, the orb's going to pop. So Effys now just trying to find a safe location to hide in with that Phantom. Not the greatest round coming in from Gen.G. The mid control. Thought we'd see a little bit more for them using potentially that Phoenix ult to get aggressive and spot out players early. Instead, they just doubled up on one side. Once that first kill came through, the spray started to pour through the wall. The Odin trying to support as well from Nguyen didn't really produce much. In fact, in the end, the res comes through, so they got nothing for it. One player dies and then gets brought back to life. That was Zoms. So it's down to Effys now, just watching that clock tick lower and lower and hoping nobody gets close.
Last time these two teams met, Sinatra didn't really have the greatest of games. In fact, he bottom fragged on Ascent. He was 8-9-8 to kill participation of 10%, which means he wasn't very involved with the win that had occurred over Gen.G. But this time around, it does feel like there's new life in his playstyle, and he's started to climb the ranks in his own team. And for him, he's still near the bottom, but it is, of course, Shazam, in some cases, really the first one to push through. I mean, he's got the flash after all. But things have changed since the last time these two teams have met, and Gen.G can really still put on a great performance and try to close things out 2-0. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that is their goal. But on a map like Ascent, we covered it earlier on, very difficult for them, as we are now seeing, of course, their sheriffs are out, and it's only going to be Effys with the Phantom. See how they deal with this round.
Again, this is a map that really does not work well for Gen.G, given their history on it, albeit limited history. Nice shot to get things started from Guimond from over on Cat. Sends an additional bullet into the belly of the Omen. That calls him to reel back towards spawn. Self-heal coming in from Guimond. We'll see how they decide to react off this man advantage. You've got the Phoenix currently over towards Tree Room with support coming in by way of the Omen, currently sitting up in heaven, back behind the spammable box. Again, that's Effys, who was forced in a save scenario twice this game, getting comparisons towards James, a player from Counter-Strike, who's notorious for doing the same. Nice paranoia coming out from Effys from up on high. Produces 2 kills, brings it down to 1. It's Shazam as the breach, going for the spike, which was dropped over towards the door. Gonna shut that door and has to face off against 3.
Yeah, great eco here for the side of Gen.G. They're really making it work. That spike about to go down, but it's the recon bolt that almost spots him out. He's flashed and can only see the light from the sunlight. GMD will take him out, and they upgrade a lot of weaponry, or at least enough for them to make it worth their while. A great round from them, and I mean, we're going to keep repeating and revisiting the storyline for how these two teams faced off on Ascent before, it's looking like a much more composed Gen.G. We're seeing Sentinels attempt a boost that I've seen before to have a quick peek into Catwalk. Shazam gets there. He's got the operator in play, and it's going to be the barrier orb as well to look inside, but no one's there. They're pushing aggressively past the Oak orb on the A side, looking for whoever's on the opposite side, and to run it back, that'll eventually dissipate. Shazam still holding that angle, and now it's a Hunter's Fury as well to try to answer back from Sinatra. He will find himself a pesky little Phoenix. GMD will fall, but they're still fighting for control.
Dying twice technically in the same round. He went for the run it back, got shock darted, and then when he comes back to his body, he ends up dying to the Sova again. Effys tries to pour it away. Dapper's like, no, that's cute and all, but I'm too quick for that. 2 players remain. Should be a save coming in for the remainder of the round as well. You've got Nguyen, who's heading over towards that B site with the operator, and Michael, the Cypher, currently sitting inside the market. It's a good round coming out from the likes of Sentinels. Gen.G tried to go aggressive over towards long, got countered out quite nicely by the orbital strike. Shazam's going to pick off Nguyen. That's the op going down. So now Michael's trying to pick it back up, but there's too many players. They're surrounding this op, knowing that he can be present. Misses the first shots as well on Dapper, who jumps away to safety, surviving with just 11 HP.
Great round for the Sentinels, and it was off the back of maybe some overzealous play from Gen.G, just trying to make that push down, the right side work out for them, and it almost did, but a lot of great utility spent from the Sentinels to keep them at bay, and then after that it was just restructuring, repositioning, and hunting down really some of the rest of the members after they got some pretty early picks. And now it is Gen.G that they've got some weaponry, and it's GMD unfortunately with the Bulldog, but it's Nguyen with the operator, and he's going to be looking toward that B push, and it's an early shot from Shazam, taking that op out of play, and they're going to push in towards B.
Huge entries currently coming in from Sentinels here as they continue this push towards the B site. Player 1 picking up where he left off in that first map. There's the breach charge coming out. Player 1 playing on the other side of it. Shazam with a quick shot coming out from the operator. There's one more still lurking in the shadows in the site. It's Effie's, and they've brought it down to a one-on-one. It's Shazam with 46 HP, spike in his hands, operator as well against Nguyen. Nguyen playing as the Phoenix, wants to take the fight, doesn't make the difference. Shazam drops down to 11 HP before hitting the shot. That's a 4K on the round for the breach.
Yeah, when it's you and against the operator player, good luck. Especially if it's Wardell, especially if it's Tens, but in this case, it's Shazam, and he's topping the leaderboards, 12-4 and 1 in scoreline. 7,200 credits as well to his name. He is rolling in the dough now at this point, and it's 2-round lead for the Sentinels. Gen.G, of course, can still make things competitive if they keep fighting the good fight. The half last time they fought was an 8-4 half, and it's currently trending that way as well. Gen.G possible to have another round on the board, but Sentinels have got some great momentum. Gen.G now on the eco, pistols in tow. The spray is almost good from Sick. He's going to find 2. I thought he was for sure in trouble there. Dom is looking for that paranoia, but it's Nguyen who gets flashed out on the other side. It's just flash after flash, and he can't even press the button from the Sheriff. Down to the 2v5 now for Gen.G.
On with the Marshall. Sitting back towards mid, just hoping to find an exit onto somebody, catch somebody off guard. You've got Effie's here with the pistol. 3 rounds currently for Gen.G, a 6 going to go on the board in just a moment here for Sentinels. Again, we talked about it coming into this. This is a map that definitely favored Sentinels by a landslide. Nice flash coming out. The pistol, not going to work out so well. Despite the flash work being done, it doesn't really produce any success. All 5 players survive a flawless round coming out from Sentinels. And you've got 3 ults here. You've got the Omen ult. You've got the Rolling Thunder coming in from Breach. And you've got the Resurrection for Sage. Whereas on the opposite side, you don't have anything. They're close on a few. Brim needs 1 point. That's PL1. 2 for Effie's. But they're going to go heavy on the investment. They're going to go with the dual operator play. So Nguyen and PL1 both picking up the op this time. We'll see if that's going to produce the success that they've been looking for.
Quite frankly, in some cases, that might be the answer for them. If you're able to keep your opposition at bay, one shot will seal the deal. We're seeing Nguyen here get into position, but it's the fault line that'll make it difficult to peak that angle. Now having to back up and give the opposition some more space. Unfortunately, to the start of the round, it's the operator that does not really produce any results quite yet. Sentinels still using their 2-pronged approach, looking towards A and looking towards B, but that middle is wide open for both teams. They're going to find one early. It's the teleport into the back corner of the A site. They will look like they'll have control, but it's GMD with 1. Zoms, though, from the top, going to find one to answer back. Sinatra, sorry, the one to take that one. And it is Gen.G now here for the retake.
Another advantage for Sentinels as well in the scenario. Mikhail back behind that cyber cage in mid, has to wait for it to go down before he can advance much further. I mean, with the positioning right now, it doesn't look like a retake is even close to likely. So after that early exchange is lost, they realize, okay, like, this is done. Get out of here, pull the ripcord. Despite that early kill onto the Sage, there's nothing else going for them. A 7th round now for Sentinels as they continue to steamroll on the attack. outside of the pistol, there's been only the one round. They win the pistol, they win that second round, but as soon as the rifles got brought into play, we've only seen one rifle versus rifle round success coming in for the likes of Gen.G. So this is just continuing to just roll out of control. It's a snowball downhill right now. A 9-3 half seems somewhat likely if this continues in this fashion.
You know, actually, that wasn't a rifle round. That was the eco for Gen.G that they made it very expensive for the Sentinels. I remember specifically GMD had a Marshal, and the rest of the team, I think, were carrying Sheriff. So it wasn't even a rifle round that they were able to win. So we'll see how they try to fight back. I still think an 8-4 scoreline is very doable. Potentially the last rifle round for Gen.G here, considering their economy is not really in the greatest place. We'll see how they do. GMD finding himself in the cubby towards the catwalk, and it's the rest of Sentinels that are now starting to push up towards this B side. It's player one hiding, or sorry, hold it up here by the Kench bench.
We'll see if they can try to unlock something here. You've got Nguyen currently over on the B site, holding a line of sight. There's the Al drone, taken down immediately by the op-shot one right around the corner. It's the Sage. They're looking for a camera to potentially be placed there by the defense. Nguyen holding this line. The dark cover comes in. You can see the Omen tossing it with the X-ray. Wants to throw down that recon dart. There's a lot of pressure coming towards this B site. Dapper throwing down some cyber cages here for the attacking side as they move their way forwards. The recon dart does give away some intel. Nguyen's going to pop the Al drone as they try to make their way out. They're getting stopped currently by the likes of Gen.G. There's one more in B main. That's the Sage going down, but they've lost control of the site. There's one backstairs and one on the site, but that's the last one left standing. It's Sinatra, the OWL god, playing as the Soba. Nothing left in his toolkit, waiting on the recon dart to come off cooldown. Not gonna happen. Mikhail there with the 4 kill on the round over on that B site defense, locking things down as the Cypher.
It's been a while since I've seen a lot of green on the scoreboard, but Gen.G, they finally get some rounds on the board, and they desperately needed that. Love to see the scoreboard. I can only assume Sentinels have plenty of credits to work with. But Mikhail there, great positioning, great opportunity to find some frags for him, and he just really held that B site down with a lot of the utility that he had. Now looking to the round ahead, Sentinels, they could put this one on the board, but Gen.G, they really need to put this one on the board in order to keep their momentum strong.
Aldrone going through the dark cover. Spots one back behind the APC. Sinatra. There's the Odin we've been wanting to see, and he's holding that line, currently waiting for the peak to come out from Eppies. He is locked in a terrible position. The shock dart comes out instead, so that LMG not going to go burr here, as it is just the shock dart that goes down on range. Meanwhile, across the map, we've got Nguyen picking one off as the opposing Cypher. So it's back down to a 4-on-4 as the clock hits about 1 minute.
Yeah, still going to actually push a little forward, looking for who's on the other side, and they will swing as a team here. Sick actually going to lead the charge first, peek it a little early, the jiggle peek, but the patience from Nguyen, and it's a face full of lead for Sick, now having to back away and give the opposition more space, but this is not looking like a good round for the Sentinels. They'll need a lot of picks if they want to push forward. Nguyen, though, he needs to make sure that his back is covered. It's Mikhail who is back there. Recon Bolt's going to spot him out, so now having to back away, looking to try to dodge some of those bullets from Sinatra. The Odin not going to connect. They'll have to back away now down to the Hunter's Fury, looking for who's on the other side. I think he lands the first one, but it's the second and the third that won't seal the deal. Now player one as well. He finds one onto Shazam. It's falling apart for the Sentinels. Zombs peeks at the wrong time. It's the orbital strike. GMD almost gets caught in the fire, but now using run it back, he wants to try to hunt down Sinatra, the last one standing, and he's just hopping his way through. Player one finding that last frag, and a much better half here for Gen.G.
Yep. Unfortunately, we are going to end up with that pesky scoreboard bug that we've mentioned at previous times. Only one player from each team being illustrated. Rito, please fix. So we'll get to see kind of what the buy is going to look like based on Gimon and Shazam's money. But I guess that'll be good enough for us. 7-5 the first half coming in from Sentinels. No surprise to see them take the lead here. Again, a map that has not historically created too much success coming in for the likes of Gen.G. But again, it's still early on in this map's history, and they haven't played it a whole lot. So the sample size is really small. It's a possibility that we could see things turn around. It does look like we're going to be seeing an A take come in from Gen.G. You've got Effie's looking like he wants to do the bike hop up on top of the box to watch for that aggressive play. Actually backs away from it instead. And it looks like that's going to be PL1 who actually misses the jump, so never mind. There you go, second time's the charm.
Actually, Dapper's anticipating it. A couple of pre-fire shots to stop that bicycle push from happening. Paranoia going to reach the depths of the site, but still Zoms who splashed to infinity and beyond. It's 2 kills here for Gen.G as they push in. Shazam now trying to reposition, breaks down that window. Now the aftershock trying to weed them out one at a time. It's still 3 members here for Sentinels. Anything is possible on the pistol. Sinatra with the shock bolt going to find one, leaving more room to break their way back onto the site. Recon bolt now here from Sinatra, but that spike had a really delayed plant. They still have a lot more time if they want to push in.
Good recon dart spotting out the planter. Effie is right around the corner sitting on Jenny. Sinatra's just going to dive in. Wants to go for that aggro play. Caught out by the players underneath, but they can't save him. As he gets the kill onto Effie's too quickly. Sick knows there's one currently in hell. And it's actually both players right now currently trying to lock down this post plant. It's come down to 1. It's Queen over on long. Nice shock dart straight to Shazam's face. The slow orb is down. Tries to peek out into it, just baiting out the shots right now. Goes a little bit wider than you'd like to see. But he's forced to fight. He's forced him off the spike. The round will be Gen.G's to take, as Sick has to hightail it out of there just to escape the radius. Not going to happen. A 6th round on the board for Gen.G.
And looking back at the last time these two teams met, it was Sentinels that won this round as well. And so things are starting to play a little differently for Gen.G. They've started to maybe practice Ascent more or feel a little bit more comfortable on it. We have, of course, seen Sentinels have great success on this map, and it is a map that Gen.G seems to struggle with. Their record on it not really quite great, but we might start to see a new evolution of the team as they have found some answers, and they're looking for yet another A take, but it's Sentinels that are ready for a rush in the middle.
Careful now.
There's the stim pack. Something we don't see brought out too often from the Brim kit. Watching for that push. Look at what is waiting right behind this dart cover. There's the recon dart going down. I love the approach, but again, it's a good read coming out from Gen.G. They almost anticipate this level of mid-aggression. Using that port to get away from the danger is Effie's. So they reduce the defense to 2. It's Sick, and it's the sapphiRe by his side of Dapper, who's currently back towards Tree Room, trying to find a better position with the Classic. There's targets waiting right around the corner. The Aldrone, though, is going the wrong way. Goes for the burst fire, doesn't produce any success. A flawless round and a couple of extra dunks coming in from Team On there before we move into the first pie round.
And that ties us up. It's 7-7. This is starting to look a little uncomfortable for the Sentinels. They had a really good start to the defensive side last time these two teams met. And what that means for the Sentinels now is they really need to figure out how they want to stop these pushes in from Gen.G. Of course, this is going to be the first rifle for them on the defensive side, and we saw in the previous half, once they had the rifles in the hand, that's where really the rounds really started to lay on one after another. And for Gen.G, if they want to keep up this momentum, they need to continue to use their strategies that they're comfortable with, use the executes that they like, and already a smoke towards Cat and a heavy push towards A.
Look at this. All sitting outside this A site. Great paranoia to potentially lead them in. That dart gives away the position of Dapper. Dapper's just eating those pulses up. Zoms will drop the first on their attempted push. You've also got Shazam right around the corner. I love that knee-high cam on the backside of that too. Of that dart cover, giving away more positions. Now Dapper is eventually going to fall in sight. Sick starts to peek wide. Does great damage, spamming through the wall as well. There's one right around the corner. That Skimon going down with the spike. It's all up to Nguyen. Not much can be done there. Once the rifles come out to play, it's Sentinels winning every single time, it seems. Very limited success for Gen.G when it comes to the rifle rounds.
We are looking for a little more of a fight now from Gen.G. Looks like they will have some credits to spend. I think I saw GMD there with the Phantom. A round for the Sentinels means that they start their lead by 1. But how long will that last for the side of Gen.G? Looking to set up for yet another push towards A seems to be what they like. But this time around, they've sent 2 players Mikael and Player One off towards that B side. So we'll see what they end up doing with it. Just gathering information for now. Spy cam to look in. And it's the rest of the team now looking for control of mid, looking for control of those alleyways that lead towards A. But so far, just playing a little bit more respectful towards the center.
Revealing area.
Art going down early, giving them that intel on mid. A passive mid play coming out currently from Sentinels. There's the dart going through. They know exactly what that means, but they can't escape in time. Sinatra spraying through that wall with the Odin. You see it time and time again on that B-side defense. A nice trade coming out for Demon after his teammate fell right by his side. The flash coming in. Going to prevent any additional damage being dealt by the run-it-back ult. Another flashpoint coming out from Shazam. There's targets waiting right around the corner. He does have support from the Cypher over on this A site. Shazam sprays through that smoke, doesn't spot any, and now puts everything on the defense in sight. That's Dapper playing back behind the boxes. Sick in heaven. Doesn't get much going for him. So Demon with the great entries as the Phoenix Flame Wall going up as well. But Sinatra's right past it. The problem is Sinatra's got that Odin, and he can spam like crazy when it comes time. There's the first one going his way. Just continues to unload bullets out of the Odin. It's starting to run dry on the magazine. Switches to the pistol. Somehow still alive. How does that happen?
Oh my
Sinatra's
goodness.
getting in on the dunks.
Oh man, you gotta save those orange picos for later, man. We don't need that right now. But a great round from the Sentinels, down to the wire, but still an expensive one for both teams. Only just down to Sinatra in that last final 1v1 against GMD, and now we're seeing Zombs here with the Phantom, full armor and utility, but I don't know if that's going to be the case for the full team. Would love to see the scoreboard, but of course we are in just early stages of the observing client, so still need to wait for that scoreboard bug to be fixed and come back, but I can imagine that the pistols here from Gen.G tell us it's an eco round for them.
You know what? I know other people have an opinion on it, but I like the attitude coming in from Sinatra, coming from a game like Overwatch, which was maybe a little bit more clean, I guess we'll say. I like the fact that he's getting into it with the rest of his teammates. There's the paranoia coming out from Zombs, easily taking care of the players on this push towards A. Down to 2, and Effys was back on the backside of site this whole time with the Ghost. Surprise! Only 1 kill coming in for Effys, though, so the surprise is short-lived. It's Mikael, the Cypher, currently in the tree room with the Sheriff, sees the barrel right around the corner, wants to push further, but knows there could be one to his left, and who else would it be other than Sinatra with the Odin? The footsteps, too scary. Zombs gets the call. It'll be 4 on the round for Zombs, as 10 rounds go onto the scoreboard for Sentinels.
You know, for Gen.G, they still have a round buffer if they want to get a little bit more experimental, you know. It does look like Sentinels have a pretty strong grasp on the defense, and they're reading this potential push towards the A side quite handily. It's Shazam and Sick that are ready to counter with the flash, as well as Zombs ready with the paranoia. I like this idea of the double flash. It gives a lot more opportunity for the defense to play a little bit more aggressive, and you're starting off with the paranoia, then a follow-up flash, but it's GMD who's there as well. Shazam now ready for the peek. Recon Bolt spots them all out, but it's only GMD that peeks. And Shazam.
5-on-4 currently. Paranoia coming out from the Omen, not clearing out much. They're still grouping up on long currently. Sinatra is going to go for the low Aldrone to spot them out. Knows there's actually an additional target around the corner. Continues to push further. So gets the intel. There's currently 3 here. The 4th moving up catwalk currently. That's Mikael, the Cypher, trying to get into tree room. But you've got Shazam already locking down that position from outside the arch over towards grass. PL1 has a long-range molly lined up to try and take the site. Gonna go ahead and pop that ult as well. So you've got Sinatra on the site, the ult coming out from the Omen as well. Shazam is there to take down the Cypher. The wall comes in, preventing this play from really getting much support. So that means that Effys is going to fall in the end. They have to take out Shazam. It's a 2-on-3. Shazam's still here and has the ult, the Rolling Thunder. They've got that Sova ult, so they can go for the Hunter's Fury. But at this point, it's going to be quite difficult. Nice stim pack coming out. The Aldrone as well, moving in close. Going to have its fire rate, I guess, improved. Not really sure what that's going to do for the Aldrone. There's the Rolling Thunder. We expected to see that so much sooner. But 1-2 picks off Shazam. And now it's down to Dapper, but there's only 12 seconds left. They have to get on this fight. They guarantee the plan. And Dapper knows it. He's dive bombing, looking for the spike. He may have just won the round with just 5 seconds left. It's Dapper in a 1-on-1 with 6 HP. Great shock dart coming in from Nguyen. absolutely a nail-biter around coming in for Gen.G, but they somehow scrape out the victory.
Yeah, and an important one to scrape out as well. Giving Sentinels that round means potentially, you know, you lose the game. I mean, it's obviously not match point, but they get round 11, and then the buffer that you have for safety starts to dissipate, and now that means that it's a little bit more competitive. Shazam here, though, with the operator and 0 credits to his name means that money is starting to run out here for the Sentinels. So for Gen.G, if they keep this up, they can really thwart the economy and have a couple of successful rounds in a row, which could lead to a round lead for them. And considering how close the previous map was going into overtime, Gen.G have the ability to take it there too. But Sentinels, of course, they've got weapons and they're ready to fight.
I think we've potentially seen more shock darts in this map than we've seen all tournament long. Shock darts usually don't produce many kills. Some, but not many. We've seen quite a few already in this game. It's actually kind of unreal.
Stim beacon down.
The one thing I'm still scratching my head about is the Owl Drone and the Stim Beacon interaction. I'm not really sure what is supposed to happen. Maybe you're right. Maybe the fire rate does increase, but we'll have to put that on pause as there is a push in here from GMD using the run it back, trying to gather information, try to gather intel. The window is where he's going to go, but no one's on the other side. Zoms was able to pull back quite far enough, but that gives a lot of space here for Gen.G. Unfortunately, they will do nothing with that space. Sentinels on the read, sending 3 towards that B site. And Gen.G going to start to work their way up through the middle. Nguyen leading that charge. It's Sick who's going to be waiting on the other side of the fruit market. Stopping by for a quick slice of pizza. The smokes are out, and this means that they are ready to push in. The flash here is good from GMD. He's going to have one. Looking for the second is player one. That'll stop that push forward. Now the fault line from Shazam. He's going to get taken out through the smoke. Sinatra, the last line of defense here on the site, and GMD will do nothing but take him out. Now, down to Zoms and Dapper. Zoms with the first entry onto the site. The spike has been planted, but they need to push in. The recon bolts are the Newell theft will spot out varying members now on the site. And it's the spy cam. Dapper looking for it. It's quickly taken out. Won't have the ability to smile on camera. GMD looking for that angle. The crossfire set up here from Gen.G, but it's Effie's. He's got a pretty interesting dark cover and looking to maybe push forward. On the other side, it's Dapper. Zom's going to take out GMD. This is starting to really go down to the wire. The swing around the corner, down to the 1v1. Omen versus Omen. And now, with that spike ticking down, it's up to Zoms. He needs to make the call. The swing around the corner, and it's Zoms! You'll take out Effie's. And it's round 11 for the Sentinels.
Does he have it, though? It's really close.
Oh
My gosh, 0.5 seconds left on the clock. Had he baited that out just a second longer, that would have been Gen.G's round to take. I mean, it's an expensive round for Sentinels. Sure, Zom's the only survivor, but he at least makes it away with an operator. It came down to the wire for the plant. No surprise that it comes down to the wire for the defuse as well. I mean, as much as this has been Sentinels' game, somehow Gen.G has kept themselves alive and have managed to keep the lead somewhat small.
Bring it up.
But this round is going to be rough. Coming into this, they're not going to have a whole lot of money. Again, we'd love to show you scoreboard bug currently prevents that from being possible. But you can see exactly what we're talking about. Pistols brought into the fold. Sheriffs, ghosts. That's why they're going aggro on mid right now. Just trying to potentially force a fight early and take some players out. Force that money to be worse in the round that follows. Thus far, it's only produced success one time.
Yeah, and that's why you also saw Sentinels poised up quite aggressively towards mid. They knew that the economy wasn't really going to be there. Sick going to find Nguyen, and it's all down to Effie's. Not a lot of weaponry for him to use. He's got a ghost, but fortunately the only ghost that he will see is himself as he gets flashed. The swing around the corner still not to come. Stick going to peek early, and a couple of those ghost shots will connect. Actually going to be fruitful for him. It's the recon bolt that's quickly denied. Sinatra trying to swing as best as he can, and he will end up finding that frag. Still 2 down for the Sentinels. Not half bad, but this is the most important round now for Gen.G. They could lose it all here, but they still have another map they can take it to if worst comes to worst.
Yeah, but the problem is these teams have played on that map before, and it's gone the way of Sentinels in their last couple of matchups. So I'm not really sure how Haven is going to be too much different for Gen.G. Sentinels, in the early stages of this team's existence, they were a little bit rough. But in the last few tournaments we've seen them in, they have really solidified their position in the North American scene as things have really started to click for them as a roster. They're currently on match point. We'll need to see 4 straight rounds come in from Gen.G in order to force overtime. Their method of attack this time, heavy cat control. You can see all of the players but one currently moving up mid towards Catwalk. You've got Zom right around the corner getting spotted by the Al drone. There's the ult coming in to try and push them out of position. Shazam has to back off. There was a paranoia in there as well. A one and done for Zoms who gets traded out immediately. Flashpoint coming in from Shazam. They're using those cyber cages to try and get on the site, and it's worked out, but Shazam again there with that operator. So pesky, so much of a problem for them. Tripwire's down. The shock coming in through the wall, trying to slow things down. The breach charge as well is present to try and delay the plant. It's only 2 players that remain currently, and they're taking their trying to secure this site. They want to shut that door if possible, so Huynn's going to go ahead and close that door. There's 2 players currently waiting right on the other side.
Yeah, and still they don't end up getting that spike down. Sinatra with the long con flank all the way around. He gets spotted by a tripwire, and now they know that something is up. Recon Bolt can come soaring through the sky. The resurrection as well to make it a sealed deal here for the Sentinels. Down to Nguyen, and with that spike down, it will be diffused. Sentinels, they take us to map number 3.
I mean, it was hard fought by Gen.G. They put up more rounds than maybe I would have anticipated, but this is the way we expected it to end. We thought that we would see Sentinels go ahead and take the series, and that's exactly what happens. Not really surprised with some of the things we saw. We got the Odin play from Sinatra. That's kind of par for the course for anyone playing Sova on this map, especially him. He's been doing that time and time again. He does that on Haven too, so don't be surprised if we see that on the next map as well.
But Shazam, every time they take it to Ascent, it's Shazam that is the top fragger for the team. Sinatra, of course, having a little bit of a better performance than what we last saw in Ascent. He was